you've been a part of digital transformation initiatives before, just given the background that you mentioned and familiarity with those organizations. Tell us what you've learned about digital transformation, about the challenges, what makes it successful, and some of the hurdles that people may face.
So digital transformation, if I remember, when the entire BPO revolution was happening, when IT organizations started looking into the BPO side of pharma industry, where they can outsource a lot of work, they started telling the story about a transformation. So most of the pharma organizations were shown story around how they can digitally transform their landscape. However, one thing I learned over the period of time that most of this transformational journey did not succeed because the objectives were not clear. There were no appetite for those transformation at that point of time. However, they really created a space for the future where this transformation can go to the next level. So I will say, if you see the generation 1 transformation, they did not succeed as they should be, versus the generation 2 transformation, which are happening and which are creating a better buzz around it. I'll give you a very simple example. Converting everything digital was the initial phenomena. Move away from paper, let everything be digital. After 10 years of transformation journey, also still we are using paper. There are still domains who are using paper. So that itself shows that we are still not true EDC. We are still banging a lot on those conventional way of doing things. Secondly, pharma organizations started depending too much on the outsourcing vendors. It was good to depend on them because they did not have in-house capability, but they did not realize to build these in-house. So that's where what happened, they did not have the in-house SMEs to support it. Versus now when you see organizations, they have CDOs, they have CIOs within pharma organization, within CRO organizations who are running these shows in-house with the help of vendors too. They're true technology partners who are helping. But one thing they always keep in mind now that they need this expertise in-house instead of just depending on a technology company to drive their transformation. So for me, Generation 2 is going very well. There will be a lot of success stories. We have been hearing from Pfizer to Merck to Amgen to GSK to BMS. Most of them are going through this journey. Some of them are leading, some of them are started, but it's just that everyone has kicked off this journey for Generation 2. So down the line, next 5 years, when we look back, this transformation journey will be more successful than the previous one.
It's a good example. So let me turn my attention now specifically to pharma and to clinical research. So within that realm, how do stakeholders and key decision makers use data and the insights from the data in order to help drive the business, their research, trials? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so data analytics and insight is becoming a key part of this portfolio. If you see, mostly this role of this department used to sit outside the clinical teams, but now it is part of the clinical operation teams altogether. We have a classic example where we have clinical analytics sitting within clinical operations, which is very much required. It is required to optimize some of our decisions towards innovation. It is helping us to optimize the way we are running trials. If you see across the globe, this role in last couple of years had played a very vital role for organizations to prioritize and deprioritize their trials, which is a huge saving altogether. It also helping out for patient enrollment, which is one of the key bottleneck to run good trials or big trials, because if you don't have a right set of patients. Let's look into the COVID situation, a classic example. I think so there was never this kind of revolution in our history, what we have seen in the COVID situation. We have gone extra mile, and thanks to data analytics and benchmarking and insight, which is helping us to govern, which is helping us to drive, which is helping us to execute in the most efficient way in the present world.